Hey guys, it's your boy Chris. Welcome back to the Age of Geek podcast. This week we're going over the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show on Disney Plus, and we'll be going over episodes 5 and 6. Let's get into it. And we also have a link tree now in the description below. So if you want to listen to us on Spotify or on Apple Music, if you want to go to any of the affiliate links that we have, just go to the description down below and press the link. And we're back again this week, guys, with Nate, good friend of mine, still watching the show. Nate, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a pretty easy day. I'm not gonna lie. We just kind of drove around all day, and I slept for about half of it and drove the rest. So I've had a very good day.
I mean, I also slept about for half of it, but that's because I didn't go to sleep until like 5.
And so one of us currently has, an ongoing job. The other one is union, but we won't talk about that. All right. So I have a very quick Spidey trivia thing that I found out on TikTok the other day. I'm always been like a rock fan, like a classic rock, more new rock stuff. Also, one of the people I used to listen to a bunch was Aerosmith. I don't think you really listen to Aerosmith, do you? No, that's okay. That's fine. There is and I'm not a hardcore fan, so I think Joe Perry is either the lead singer or the lead guitarist. Regardless, do you remember the '90s Spider-Man show?
Yeah, of course.
Very good show. Love that show, right?
Grew up watching.
Ooh, a little scratchy. Well, you remember like the intro for that? How it was very like rock with the guitar.
Yeah.
Joe Perry was the one who actually did the guitar for that intro. So they actually had a rock artist do a very rock-like guitar intro, which I thought was pretty cool. Because I like rock, and the '90s and early 2000s shows is what really kind of got me into rock. Because whatever, I just thought it was a nice little Spidey tidbit. All right, so now we're gonna get moving on to episode 5, and right out of the bat, I forgot to talk about something as every episode so far has done. I just didn't really realize it till now, and I forgot to talk about it. After the intro is done in the show, right? After all the music and whatnot, the end of it always shows like almost like a comic book cover for the episode, and each one is specific to the episode and is like completely different from the others. Know what I mean?
Did not notice that. I did not notice that. No.
I'm gonna have to show you, or I'm gonna have to have you go back and watch it, because like it'll be, I think episode 2, they had they redid the iconic comic cover of Spider-Man's, like his first comic cover, Spider-Man swinging and holding a dude under his arm, and what they did was him swinging his, homemade suit with Harry under his arm, which we didn't know it was Harry at the time, but yeah, I've after skimming through it again to get some notes, I forgot about that because I didn't really notice until like the 3rd or 4th episode. All right, and then as far as the rest of the episode goes, so we start off with I don't remember her name. I just call her Spiky Ron Blushin. Spiky Blonde Russian.
Blonde Russian.
I had a stroke. Oh, that was bad. We can keep that in. Spiky Blonde Russian girl gets an upgrade from Doc Ock, because he's the one who's been putting out all that, and I call it tech, and I call it upgrade because that's what he called it. He's really just selling, tech.
Weapons.
He's selling weapons. This is all he's doing.
Yeah.
But he calls it upgrade because he wants to be not Tony Stark, I guess.
Yeah. No one wants to be Tony Stark.
I want to be Tony Stark. I want to have money and suits.
No.
Yeah, dude. I can take care of the rest.
Because then you'll get shot at.
It just sounds like going through, the local big city to me. It's normal these days. Also, I want to talk about Doc Ock's look. Since we've actually got a good look at him now, he looks straight out of the '60s comics, the Silver Arrow. He looks good. The voice actor is doing a pretty good job of doing the very, I don't know how else to describe it, but like sarcastic, maniacal, I'm better than you in every way kind of voice, if that makes sense. Like I've heard a lot
Yeah,
of ways
yeah.
Doc Ock sound. This one sounds pretty much. This one doesn't sound like any of the others, but it still kind of fits for the '60s Doc. I
I do like his '60s design.
it's like, yeah,
That's what I grew up watching. You know how
right.
he looked, and so the design he had for what was it was it Amazing Spider-Man where he had like those breathing cylinder things?
Ultimate Spider-Man
That yeah,
with the long hair.
Hated that.
Whoa! I hated Doc Ock or the show.
The design.
Oh, well, I mean,
for
it's
Doc
supposed to
Ock.
be more like the Ultimate because it was Ultimate Spider-Man. They did a lot more of the Ultimate Universe stuff. It was supposed to be kind of like the Ultimate Doc Ock, which was a bit more. His limbs didn't really work, so that's why he had the arms. Compared to, he just made the arms because science. But yeah, no, the I know what you mean, like the dirty, long hair, kind of
He was
dingy
not for
looking.
me, bro. He
Yeah.
looked like an emo kid that hadn't washed in 50
To be
days.
fair, he was a quadriplegic, so he kind of was an emo kid that just was very, 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 very smart.
Yeah.
But I will say, Doc Ock has always had like the goggles or whatever. This Doc Ock has the original look, which was the green outfit, the yellow. For some reason, green and yellow, because that's what an octopus color looks like.
Well,
no,
an octopus has the
Yes,
ability
yes.
to change its pigmentation and camouflage.
You're fitting the same colors. I'm joking. But no, the I like the look. I like the shut up. I like the look. One thing I hate so much is the sunglasses, the shades. Just
What? He's
I
rocking them
don't.
shades.
I know, but who wears shades inside a building, right? Inside a dingy
dude.
warehouse building, huh?
And mad scientists.
And weirdos. It's just I outside I get it. When he's doing stuff like welding or whatever that has bright lights, I get it. But when he's just walking out of the shadows, I don't know. I've always thought it was really stupid when they have something like that. At least the good thing is they're keeping to his backstory pretty well. For his backstory as far as the '60s version was. He used to work with work with Norman Osborn. And after some stuff happened, he hates Norman Osborn, which honestly, fair enough, because everyone kind of hates Norman Osborn. They don't yet
He's
in this show.
He's a very hateable character.
He's a very hateable character. They don't hate him yet in this show, but we're trust me, we're getting there. And I'm not saying that because it's happened in the show. As far as I know, I was on episode 8 last, but it's Norman Osborn. Something's gonna happen, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, he was the bad guy the entire time," because it's Norman Osborn. But I mean, at least it's better than what they're doing in the comics. Yeah, it's better than what they're doing in the comics. They made Norman Osborn a good guy.
That's kind of weird. I mean, for once, I'd like him to be a good guy. Like.
Yeah, but we'll talk about it in another video. But the way they did this feels
wrong,
forced in a way. Yeah, just a bit. It was forced to kind of give he's gone. To kind of give and he's back, a preview of what it is. Some big bad guy basically took the sin of the Green Goblin out of Norman Osborn. So he took the essence of the Green Goblin out of Norman and it left him as regular Norman Osborn, but with all the memories and all the guilt and all that. It's weird. Like I said, another video. But move on.
Yeah. Let's move on.
We're gonna move on with episode 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So the unicorn.
Yes.
Yeah. He doesn't like the name, ladies and gentlemen.
I hate the name.
He's not a fan.
It's so dumb.
What's wrong with the unicorn?
Bro, she put on a helmet and she's like, I'm the unicorn now, because she got a little protrusion thing that's like yay big sticking out from her forehead now.
Lasers.
And it shoots like,
no, it's
really all it does.
In mythology that unicorns shoot lasers from their horn.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's what that's what they do. You know, shoot lasers out one way and sparkles and rainbows at the other side. Moving on. So later in the episode, after we see the Russian girl get her helmet, I'm not calling her that. We see the aftermath of, you know, Harry finding out that Peter was Spider-Man, because that's what how episode 4 ended, was him just kind of jumping in through the window and talking to Norman, and Harry's there like, I'm here
Hey.
too. Hey, you're Spider-Man?
Oh
That's
my
crazy.
God, you're Spider-Man.
You're Spider-Man? That's weird. Yeah. And oddly, Norman, sorry, something I'm out. Norman wants Harry to join Team Spider-Man, which he explained it as, you know, he's not always going to be there because he's busy, and Harry is just as smart as. I don't think he said that. Harry can take over when that happens. And Harry's like, hey, that's great. I'll be the guy in the chair. I'm just. Norman has never, and it even seems in this show, Norman doesn't really trust Harry with the big stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't trust him with a lot of things. But
I mean,
hey,
he's a freaking Instagram influencer, basically.
yes, in this show, in this universe, he is
weird haircut.
He's just an online playboy, basically, is what he is. He's just a dude. He's a media influencer, blah blah blah. But hey, now Pete's got a rich friend who will drive him in a, I'm gonna call it a Lambo, and let the car people just come at me in the comments. To school.
You could have just said sports car.
Lambo. Red Lambo. Yeah, Lamborghini. But yeah, no, he's kind of just a rich playboy, and I have a feeling I know why she doesn't like him. But Nico, which after talking about it after the last 2 videos, I realized I was getting her name wrong the entire time.
Yep.
It's not my fault. I'm bad with names sometimes.
I corrected you multiple times.
It's okay. Nico really does not like Harry, which I get, because, you know, he's kind of like the opposite of all the stuff that she doesn't have, and she believes was just given to him, which it kind of was.
Kind of was.
And I've met people like that. Some people are good, others are just not. Are just true to their nature. They're just rich playboys who are annoying. But yeah, Nico doesn't really like him.
Heck, have you met rich playboys?
Met people.
Okay, sure.
I've met people. When I worked in the movie theater, I met a lot of weird people.
That's different.
I still met them, didn't I? Regardless, we also had, because I was too far back, Lonnie getting in trouble with the football coach, right?
Oh yeah, poor Lonnie.
Yeah, dude, I still love Lonnie, even though I know what's happening and I know what's going to happen now. I feel so bad for him, because his story started off so well, and it's just nose diving the entire rest of the show. He had to continue to skip. He was getting yelled at. Not yelled at. He was getting told off by the coach for skipping practice, really. And said if he did it again, he'd be gone. Who calls him on the phone as soon as he's about to go to practice? Big Don. Big Don wants him to come in because stuff going on with the Scorpions. Okay. But yeah, I really do feel bad for Lonnie. I will say, we still get to see the new suit some more. I still think it looks really good. I still like that suit.
It's alright.
Even if it's like a variation of the Future Foundation suit, I still think it's pretty good. Yes, the unicorn. In my notes, that's when I started talking about the unicorn. I still hate that name. I really don't like it. But she breaks her friends free. Yeah, I'm using words correctly.
She does a jailbreak, right?
She does a jailbreak.
Prison, right? She cuts with the laser for the big guy, right? Yep. And he's like, "Oh, we need to go get the others." And she's like, "I already got him.
I already got that.
Yeah,
3 steps ahead.
Here. Don't worry about it."
Either way, I don't know if you noticed this, and this is just random because I just remembered it. You know the other dude, not Mikhail, the big dude, but the other guy that was with the crew. Did he sound familiar to you?
You mean the one with didn't he have a goatee or something?
Black hair goatee,
right? Yeah.
He
sound familiar to you?
Do you know who I think it was?
What? Who?
I swear it's Ezio.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
It would like thinking back on it, dude. I was like, I watched the episode. I'm like, I sound like Ezio. I ain't gonna lie. The way he talked, like it was a Russian version, which was slightly weird, but he's still rolling the R's and talk. I don't know. I fangirl slightly because I love Ezio, but we're not gonna.
Yeah.
So after
I did
getting
Ezio, so
moving on. So we also had after what's her face, the unicorn, the Russian girl
unicorn,
the Russian girl breaks her friends free. While that is happening, and Spidey eventually shows up to try to stop her. We at the same time we have Lonnie being part of a gang war between the 1/10 and the Scorpions, which was probably not a good idea for him because he doesn't seem like the guy who's really been into a lot of fights. I mean, he's a football guy, but it doesn't really mean much. And then, of course, who shows up? He's gone. Who shows up? Matt Gargan. Crazy dude that he is. And he's already been like, I'm gonna kill Big Don. I'm gonna kill you. And you know what? I fought all those guys.
Take over the
you know
turf.
why? You know why I did it? Because I wanted to and because I could. So yeah, that's the equivalent of getting in a boxing match with somebody and they start praying for you. I'm gonna send you to God. Mike Tyson. Style of the Peggle.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I got to do this to you.
I'm crying for you. So we had during that fight, Lonnie was kind of just like, I don't know what's going on. What do I do? And he sees Big Don is fighting some dude on the ground. He's got him on the ground. He's punching the crap out of him. Mac Gargan sees an opportunity and pulls out
a knife, man. Like, what's up with that?
I like what they did. They used the name of the knife is gonna bother me because I know what it is because I have one sort of. But it was green. It's supposed to kind of look like a scorpion tail. He froze for a second. But he pulls one of those out and he goes to stab him in the back because he's a terrible dude. And Lonnie saves him, and in the process, gets
stabbed.
Which I'm glad they didn't. There have been other like versions of that Scorpion where he does the same. He was the same person, but one of the things he did was he would like lace his knife with poison. So when he stabbed somebody, even if it was just like Lonnie in the arm, they would die slowly because of the poison. Glad they didn't do that this time because that's what I thought what was happening was he got stabbed. Oh no, it's probably poisoned because he's calling his gang the Scorpions and he carries around a scorpion-like knife. Of course, he would stab somebody and poison them. But no, they didn't do that, which I was glad because I still like Lonnie, even if he is going down a really bad road. During that entire fight, we go back to Spider-Man. He is getting whooped. I mean, it's not going well, and Harry's not helping.
Him on a silver platter.
On a gold platter at that, on a unicorn. I'm not saying it. Never mind. No, it was bad. Like Harry couldn't really help. It was just, he was starting to get the upper hand a little bit. And then he almost got killed because the lady shot one of her lasers at some people, and he saved them and was about to shoot him again. And who comes in to save the day? But Mikhail, the guy who's definitely not Rhino in the near future.
Yeah, definitely not.
But he comes in and saves her saves him. And he kind of explains himself a little bit. Was like, we're not trying to do all that. She's doing too much, basically. And Spider-Man was like, thanks for the help. And he said, I didn't help you. I stopped her from doing something she couldn't come back from. Next time I see you, I am going to kill you. My first thought was, what did he do? Like, that's the first time he's seen Spider-Man. He really didn't do nothing. Like,
now, I will say, before you get too far, you did skip over the fact that she also tried to shoot the Rhino guy, right, with the laser, knowing Spider-Man would save him.
That's right. That's who he saved. I forgot who it was he saved. Yeah. She was going to just like, she's like, oh, he was going to save you. And Michael was like, that's not how, no, you shouldn't be shooting at your friends because that guy's going to save me. That's not how that works. I didn't. But the whole episode ends with with someone who's definitely not going to be the Rhino in the future, saying he's going to kill Spider-Man because why not? I guess. And
He
Lonnie
basically said next time it's on site.
it's literally, and I'm going to have my own horn or two. He didn't say it, but we all knew it was coming. And we ended the episode with something that I texted you about it whenever it happened. Whenever I watched that episode, I texted you about it, and I was so upset because I didn't know what they were doing with Lonnie's character until they're like celebrating that they won the gang war. Ish, not won, but they survived basically. And Lonnie say Big Don, he's one of us now, and they're like gonna give him a nickname. They said a couple, I don't remember the others, but then Big Don comes up with he saved me from death, Tombstone, and Lonnie's like, I like Tombstone. And when that happened, I ended the episode. I'm like, no. No!
He's Tombstone? Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Like, Tombstone, for those of you who don't know, Tombstone is one of Spidey's, oldest bad guys. He's literally just a mafia dude with stone skin, basically. So he's really hard to beat, plus he's kind of strong. I don't remember how he got that way, but maybe the show will show it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah. All right. Now we're about to move on to episode 6.
All right. So for this new episode, right? So it starts off very, very suddenly with Coach being like, "Yo, Lonnie, I'm sorry I had to do this to you, bro, but this was going to be the big year." He gets to get kicked off, right? He's been skipping practice games. He got
so bad for him.
Which they really should have given us what's the school's reaction to Lonnie getting stabbed? He's not hiding that. How is he going to hide getting stabbed?
And they're you were gone, so kick you.
Yeah, exactly. So
it was weird.
It was kind of sad, but at the same time, now he's all edgy and you know what? It's fine. Now I don't have to hide.
Yeah, I'm by myself. I don't need you. I don't need, what was her name? Pearl? I don't need Pearl. Yeah. I don't need your help. You know what? I'm done. We're done.
Gangster.
Gangster.
Basically.
Yeah. But another minor thing that was kind of weird was that girl, Jean, or whatever her name was, from the team of smart kids at Oscorp.
Yeah.
Trying to sneak into the top floor.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. Only thought I had was maybe she's Black Cat. Maybe, I don't know. That's the only reason she saw Harry immediately, and I'm phasing in and out. She saw Harry and just left. So maybe there's something there. But then we had Pete has Nico and Harry over to try to make them all be friends, and they're trying to watch VCRs and
VCH. VHS.
I have acronyms, okay? Thank you. VCR is something else. Shut up. I had a few years of VHS, okay? I had a few years.
I had plenty.
These kids had none.
I still have a bunch.
Oh, look at this vintage thing, VHS. How does it work? And I'm over here you push it in and you need to press play. How does it work? You push it in and you press play. And they're freaking out about it. Yes, it hurt. It hurt. I only had it for a couple years and it hurt me too. But they try to be friends. He tries to have them be friends. It's really not going well. He gets called by Norman, who is at a gala thing.
He's at a fundraiser thing, right?
Yeah, he sees Ross. Not about Ross. For those of you who don't know, will be Red Hulk in the current movie Captain America: Brave New World. And he sees that his office is getting broken into. So he calls Peter because Peter has his suit and has his help. So obviously, when someone's breaking into his office, he doesn't send the security after them. He sends the guy. Yeah, he sends the.
Well, no. Remember, he said the security was his security guards were not responding.
That's true. They're knocked out. That's right. That's right.
One of them.
It was just a little bit oh well, you don't. You can give. Pete even said, I have these two over. I'm trying to be friends with them. I'm trying to have things going.
You said it was our night off.
Yeah, and he's in less words, he basically said, you have my suit, you have my help. You need to help me. He hey, I helped you, now it's your turn.
Want me to keep covering
you want me to cover for you?
With
then
the Sokovia Accords?
Yeah. We also had after that scene, Lonnie was getting followed by the Scorpion Second Command, the girl, lady, that ain't a girl, that's a lady, and she was following him in like a muscle car of some kind. He gets helped by the 110th, and he's like is scared and goes back to their hideout. And that was loud. That was so loud. Later on in the episode, to just kind of go through things quick, they end up back at the hideout, and she follows them the entire way, and they didn't notice because they're blind, I guess. And she finds out their hideout,
where their hideout is. Yeah.
So back to Spidey going back to the Oscorp building. He gets there. No one's really in there. He tries to do stuff.
He finds the unconscious guard, right?
Finds the unconscious guard, checks the computers, stuff has happened. Yep. Then he goes to the roof because that's where they went. And when he comes out, he goes to Thwip. Words don't work in here.
He tries to subdue him with the web.
Yes, he tries to thwip him, and he's like, "Who are you?" And then I knew he was coming, but I didn't know it was going to be this glorious. I love Daredevil.
So
I love Daredevil, and I love the Daredevil Netflix show so much that I'm going to rewatch it soon once the new show comes out, which I will be talking about in episodes coming up. And I will be going over the episodes when they come out. So stay with us. But when they turned around and showed him in like the black suit, I think he had red boots. I forget. They didn't have the double D, which I felt like they could have because they kept calling him the devil. But I mean, I guess, the horns. But they pan to him, and he turns around slowly and immediately. And you didn't know this until I texted you about it. The Daredevil music starts playing from the show, and I replayed that part so many times because I love the music. I love the show so much, and not only that, it is Charlie Cox who played Daredevil and is still playing Daredevil, doing the voice acting, which just I'm sorry. You want to say something? Say something, please.
No,
please.
No, you got this, bro.
Don't let me fangirl so much, please.
Okay, all right. I got you. Yeah, so while all this is happening, right, Harry and Nico are left alone.
Oh yeah, that's true. Ooh,
and so they're trying to find common ground. It's not really working. But then he's like, "Oh, those tarot cards." She's like, "Yeah, you want me to do the thing?" He's like, "Oh,
shut up! Keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going. And just ignore me."
And so, and she's doing the cards, right? And then Harry's like, "Okay, so this means that I do." So he's like, "Oh, so now I got to match the card, right?" And because he basically he was like, "Yeah, no, I only know what they are for fashion and whatnot. I don't actually.
I don't know how that works with fashion, but sure."
Yeah. And so she was a little annoyed about it.
Yeah.
And then she started being like, "Yeah, I'm Peter's best friend. I know all
everything, all of them,
all his secrets, all of his secrets." And then it pans back to the Daredevil fight.
What? Yeah, no, they pan back. Spidey again is getting whooped, but I mean, it's because they had this beautiful scene of he shoots like 3 webs at him, and Daredevil's not even looking at him. And he just dodges them all and then turns around.
What do you mean looking at him?
I said he's not looking.
Yeah, there you go. You're realizing it now.
He's not even facing him is what I meant, okay? I meant he's not facing him. I hate you so much. No, he like dodges it so perfectly. I love it. I love how they did Daredevil for just the few minutes they had him on screen. They had him perfect. He just like
Matrix style dodge.
And he like the way he was throwing his batons around and
the ricocheting to.
Oh, it was so good. It kept hitting him and the fact that it was such like a small thing that he wouldn't notice that his spider sense wasn't even going off. I thought it was. I loved it. I loved that entire sequence of events. And then he got away. I think he knocked the kid out, and it was. I loved it. I loved it so much.
I think the baton when it came back and hit him in the back of the head. I think that's what
it knocked him out. Yeah. And then he when
And
Osborn
the
gets
entire
back.
time he was talking. The entire time, Daredevil was like, "Kids, you don't know what's really going on."
Yeah, you don't know
Stuff like
everything
that.
about him, and yeah, so he eventually, after Osborn gets back, confronts him. Was like, "What don't I know?" So Osborn goes to tell him that he figured out who is giving out all the tech, right? And he says it's
Yeah,
an old
yeah.
excuse me, colleague of mine, Otto Octavius, and he shows him on the screen, and I'm blurry. I'm back. Blurry. I'm back. We're back. Back in black. Not yet, but he shows Otto Octavius, and I mean he's right. We saw that. And then he gives Peter this story about them, which I've read a lot of Spider-Man, and I've watched a lot of Spider-Man, and I know a lot about, and I know a good bit about it. And Norman's not telling the whole. He's telling some of the truth. It ain't all. That's not the whole story, though. I guarantee you that ain't the whole story. It cannot be just Otto was getting jealous or Otto was making stuff that wasn't actually good for people, and he got kicked and he got jealous. It can't be just that, because that's not how Osborn runs. That's just not. He guarantee he stole some of his stuff, or it probably is he stole his ideas and then framed the stealing on Octavius.
Yeah, probably.
But yes, and then we go back to Peter goes back to his apartment, opens his door, and Nico's like, "Hey, how's Spider-Man?" And is like confronting him, and basically we find out that Harry spilled the webs.
Blabbermouth.
Oh, it was
But
so
to be
bad.
to be fair,
He
he didn't
thought
know
she knew.
that she. Yeah,
Right.
Because
She's like,
they were
"I know
best
everything about
friends.
him." He was
They
like,
told each other
"You do?"
everything.
And she was like, "Yeah, I know everything about him." And he was like, "Even the webs? Do you know about the webs?" And yeah, they didn't actually do that. I wish they had. That would have been funny. But no, he spilled the beans by accident.
Yep.
Again, to be fair, he thought she knew, and she was very upset about it, which I guess I can get. But I guess, as someone looking from the outside in on that kind of stuff, I don't think I would react like that. But at the same time, no,
to me, it would be more like, "Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm so
yeah,
glad."
no, I was about to say, if you were like, "Hey, I'm that guy flying up in the sky helping people," I'd be like,
Yeah, I'd be more
Cool.
like how Ned.
Take me out.
Like how Ned, from the Tom Holland movies reacted.
"Yeah,"
like,
be
"Oh,
like, "That's so cool. Can I help?"
And then Bard with like millions.
How
of
does it
questions.
work? Does it come out of
Do you lay
everywhere?
eggs? Do you have
Do you
venom?
lay eggs? Do you
Yeah.
turn to all that, and then we come back to Lonnie, and at the end of the episode, Lonnie has way too much trust in the 1/10th because they've kind of just, I don't know, they've protected him now, and especially after him getting followed, and he's so gone down the wrong.
This is my family now.
And then, like I said, the lady finds out where he is, and she's on the phone with Gargan. We find out Gargan is at Doc Ock's place, and he's getting suited up. And by that, I mean he's becoming what he's always been, Scorpion. And he's getting suited with the Scorpion armor. And it looks pretty good. It's not the full armor, but I think it's going to get there eventually. It's very, early stage chest piece, the feet, and the tail. So, yeah. But hey, we got Scorpion now. All right?
Yep, it'd be dope.
Yep. It was a very good episode. I so far been really enjoying the series, and
so far.
And after having seen the next couple episodes, I'm going to finish the show tonight, because episode 10 is the last episode. I was wondering if it was going to be, but yep, episode 10 is the last episode of the season.
That's depressing.
I know, because it's been out for what, a month maybe, if that, 3 weeks, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, 4 weeks, a full month, and it's already done here. All right, guys, and this has been episodes 5 and 6 of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on Disney Plus, which was coming out on every Wednesday. Now that it's over, but don't worry, we will be going over every single episode up to episode 10, and I'm very much looking forward to it because I've seen some stuff from episode 9 and 10, and it looks good. But next week's video will be on episodes 7 and 8. We're looking forward to it. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.